Hey, I'm Nathan Pergio, Head of Strategy at Blue Sense Digital. In the last 3 years, I've worked with over 200 e-commerce brands and generated over $250 million in attributed sales. I want to show you in this video why we have the best back-end growth evaluation videos in the entire industry and why you should reach out to us if you're spending over $10,000 to receive a growth evaluation. On the screen right now, I have one of the latest growth evaluations that we've done. It's an hour and 15-minute movie-length video that breaks down their Google, Facebook strategy and how that directly links to their product LTV, profit contribution at a P&L and returning P&L level, as well as breaking down the unit economics of the brand. We are not just paid media customer acquisition experts, but we tie all of our acquisition into our consulting framework and consulting models, which allow us to produce better financial outcomes for our clients. So let's dive straight into this video. We start our audit videos off on Google, running through all the current active campaigns and recommendations as to how they should be restructuring to better align with the business model that they're currently operating in, as well as advising on the best acquisition strategy that's going to entail short-term as well as long-term growth, but more importantly, shortening cash conversion cycles and maximizing EBITDA. So as we start to scroll through this video, you'll see that we dive into their YouTube strategy campaigns, we dive into their search campaigns, we dive into their performance max campaigns, and we tie all of this in to the actual unit economics of the brand. And so here you can see us referencing into one of our consulting models where we've inputted all of the historical 4-year order data to aggregate blended CAC numbers over time, contribution margin at a cohort level. So rather than your usual cohort analysis in the back end of Shopify that tells you revenue, we go all the way down to the profit contribution level. We're looking at 30-day LTVs, we're looking at churns of individual cohorts, the list goes on. We're also then directly relating this to their normalized P&L. So we can pull a normalized historical P&L as well as a repeat purchase P&L to get insights into what months performed well, what didn't, and then start to break down in the acquisition and the retention strategy where the missing gaps were so that we can ensure more stable profitability over time. Their performance max campaigns are also linked directly into first time and returning customer unit economics, which we track on a month-on-month historical basis, which is what you can see on the screen right here. Our key stat to call out here is that their returning customers drive 18x more profit contribution than a first-time customer. And so that is then entailed into the strategy that's rolled out and recommended when it comes to these search and performance max campaigns. We make reference to a few external resources. We push a lot of resources in the description below this video to learn further about the recommendations that we're providing. And then we move over into Facebook, where we run through a few core recommendations at a structural level that's going to enable greater scalability. A key recommendation, a part of this bit of the video, is recommending white labeling pages, considering that they have really reached the entire reach threshold of Australia. They've spent over $8 million in the Australian market over the past few years. And so the only way to reach people in a new angle, despite continuous creative reiteration and testing, is to come in with a white labeling strategy. There's then a lot of other strategies laid in here that all directly connect to the unit economics of the brand. You can see here that we're relating maximized conversions as a performance goal in regards to contribution margin at a product level and how there's a misalignment in incentives between Facebook and your own brand if you're structuring your campaigns with a single Advantage Plus campaign with multiple different products. We can see that this video then goes on to go down to the ad level and consult on the individual creative strategy. We then pull out into a differential analysis of if they were to allocate an additional $2,000 in spend to existing customers, how would that trickle down to their monthly profit differential? And it would be a profitable investment. So they should be looking at redistributing budgets into existing customer retargeting. In this video earlier on, we also pulled out a incrementality testing model for when they're increasing YouTube spend or a particular campaign, they need to be dropping in daily data imports into an incrementality testing model to get the statistical relevancy of whether these tests are actually working. We then go into our business health checks. So we drop their trailing 6-month P&L into our health check to determine how much of a revenue dip could they take without going into negative EBITDA. And as you can see, this brand is actually incredibly healthy, and they can go all the way to a 70% reduction in top line revenue without negative cash flowing, which is a really strong position to be in, particularly in 2024, as Shopify has just come out and said that Q2 is likely to be a very, very weak quarter for majority of their stores. Moving into the normalized P&L, we relate contribution margin at a repeat purchase level to OpEx, as you have to have higher returning customer contribution in proportion to OpEx if you're going to run a business model like they are, where you're not highly profitable on first purchase. We then go into average order value distribution, provide recommendations as to how they should be restructuring their offers. We go into profit contribution at an individual product and category level to identify which products we should be prioritizing within the acquisition strategy. And then finally, we touched on entry combinations. So what combination of products on average on first purchase yield an audience that repeat buys at a higher rate and has a stronger lifetime contribution margin to the business. We pulled out 2 key product combinations that seem to be driving the highest repeat purchase rates, and we provided that to them in this video that they should immediately take action on and start using within their acquisition strategy. So if you would like a movie length breakdown of how you can grow your e-commerce brand to the financial outcome that you desire in the next 6 to 12 months, click the link below, reach out to us. We'll book a chemistry call where we spend an hour getting an understanding of the economics of your business, the interplay between marketing, finances, and operations, so that we can then get into your accounts, so that we can provide you with a back-end growth evaluation that is going to be directly aligned with producing better financial outcomes.